Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be channeling a collective reading and energy update. So, thank you so much to all of you who are here sharing your own powerful personal frequency with the channel. Know that simply by listening in, whenever or wherever you are listening from, you are actively co creating all of the messages that come through this video. So I'm going to start today by shuffling the traditional tarot cards to get us started in the reading. Of course, we have just had a new moon in Taurus, so you may be feeling some of the effects of that particular energy. If you would like more details on how that full moon might be affecting you, I actually did a reading prior to this one specifically on the full moon, or the new moon, I should say. Maybe the upcoming full moon will be significant for someone as well, because, of course, I don't believe in coincidences or accidents. So, when I said full moon, that might mean that you are entering a cycle between this new moon and the next full moon where some kind of very powerful shift is going to be taking place. And we will be getting into that. But I also want to say I keep feeling this kind of tingling in my crown chakra, which tends to signal some kind of highly spiritual transformation taking place in your life, some kind of major download coming through. For some reason, I'm seeing a lamb that might be symbolic for someone. I'm actually going to channel a little bit of a message from that as well. So, lamb symbolism is innocence, purity, and sacrifice, willingness to surrender to a higher power or higher order. And that's really interesting. So, this could be about you being willing to surrender your own conscious, logical need to know in a situation. This has been very thematic in recent reading videos. But I am going to be channeling more into this, as well as more into the dynamic around the powerful shifts that could be taking place between the next couple weeks. So here we're getting right away the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Cups, but they're both in the reversed position. So what I'm seeing here is someone who is feeling really disconnected from you. So this is someone feeling left out in the cold, very stubborn to be in your life or to connect with you. There does seem to be some kind of energy exchange taking place between you and this person at this time, because all of this is sitting on the third eye chakra as well, which is the seat of psychic ability. And what I'm getting is psychically, there is this energy transfer that's taking place here. This also could be someone who's very unhappy in their own current relationship or connection. I'm hearing there's no one else. This could be someone feeling as though there's no one else but you for them. So they're very unhappy with any other potential connection or with the idea of any other potential connection. Here we also have the cards Observe and Union, and these cards are actually sitting on the sacral chakra. So what that tells me is the person we're picking up on here, and again, do keep in mind that throughout these readings, I tend to channel many different people, energies, situations, and connections. So only take the messages that are truly resonant for you personally. But I'm seeing this person, I'm hearing heavily watching you even as they've been running away. with the runner card and the ego card here. So this may be someone who's appeared to be running away from you, away from the connection, and yet what I'm picking up is they are observing you, they are heavily watching you, I'm hearing imagining a union with you with the union card here. The word reconciliation is coming out really strongly. So maybe there would need to be some kind of reconciliation between the two of you. Now, I will say that this is someone who's feeling very chaotic in their heart space, meaning I'm hearing that their heart won't let them sleep or won't give them peace in this state of running that they've been in because the emotions coming through for you on the heart space are so intense that it's almost like they aren't allowed to just sleep on these feelings or these knowings really psychically that they have about you, even if they have been kind of blocking that psychic knowing. I keep seeing a pair of tennis shoes for someone. Maybe someone is into jogging or running or something of that nature. Or once again, that could just be speaking to this dynamic where this person has been running, has been withholding some aspect of their heart. And I'm hearing sadness. So this may be someone that you've desired to connect with and who you approached with an open heart, but they were holding something back. They were withholding in some way from you, and that may have been what ultimately led to some kind of disconnect or separation here, or may have even led this person to run. Can I get more information on what this person was withholding? Okay, so with all tied up in the reverse position, this may have been someone who was very stuck or stagnant in their own life, or they had this kind of stagnant energy around them, and they may have been trying to hide this, or I'm hearing embarrassed. They may have been embarrassed for being stuck in some way in their life, but they wanted to come across, I'm hearing, as a leader or in a very different way. So they may have hidden from you ways in which they were actually feeling really stuck and really stagnant in their own life or their own work, their connections, whatever this was for them. And it's almost like this is someone who won't communicate when they're feeling stuck or when they're feeling stressed. They may have been in the mindset that they just wanted to handle everything themselves. They didn't want to burden you with it. But what happened here is you could intuitively pick up that this person was holding back, and you may have not consciously known why because they weren't communicating that. You just knew that there was some kind of withholding taking place here. I'm hearing Valentine's. Maybe Valentine's Day is significant to someone, but of course, this is a holiday that tends to centralize around love and connection. So maybe this is someone feeling that kind of romantic energy towards you, but I feel as though they were holding something back in their communication with you. So what you were picking up is some form of deception that you couldn't really put your finger on. And this may have been what ultimately pushed you to separate from this person or to allow some kind of separation or disconnect, because I just keep getting this sense that your intuition was spot on about something that this person was either denying or not communicating about. And this may have felt like it was driving you crazy, because I'm getting that you might often experience this dynamic where your intuition senses something about a person or situation that they are actively denying or trying to hide from you. And this can make it very complicated because you might not always know exactly pinpointed where that intuitive feeling is coming from. You might just know that something feels off or something is being withheld, even when someone is simply not communicating that they're feeling overburdened or feeling stuck or feeling sadness or tiredness or whatever the case is. But if they are denying, expressing, and communicating those experiences, then what you pick up is that there's some level of dishonesty, and you can't always pinpoint where it's coming from, but it naturally causes you to repel away from the person because you have to follow your own intuition. And when something feels deceptive or feels off about a person, you naturally tend to gravitate away from them. This is why at this time, the only connections that can really survive consistently in your field are those that are truly based on honesty, openness, and authenticity. And I feel that that is what you are teaching this specific person here as well, how to honestly communicate what they're feeling and why. I'm almost feeling that this person may have rejected you, pushed you away, or ran away because they were feeling overwhelmed or stuck or overburdened in their own life. But instead of just communicating those feelings of stress or overwhelm, they pushed you away instead. And that may have been really emotionally painful for you. With the Three of Wands and the Six of Cups or the Six of Pentacles in the reverse position, but that's interesting. The Six of Cups might also be playing some kind of a role here. What I'm getting is this is someone who may have some kind of issue financially, work-wise. For some reason, I'm getting the word indebted. The word debt is coming up here. So this may be someone who's dealing with some form of literal debt. Maybe there's something financial going on here. But I have to say that for many of them, it's almost like they're feeling obligated or indebted towards something or someone. And that could be what's stressing them out or overwhelming them that they haven't been willing to communicate about. Whereas with the Three of Wands energy, I see that for some reason I'm hearing someone say, like, you know what, I'm just going to focus on myself, or I'm just going to walk away. So this may have been the state that you shifted into when this person was not communicating what is going on in their life or what they were feeling. You may have just shifted into this state of, I'm just going to put this on the back burner or let go of this and really focus on myself, my happiness. You may have spontaneously decided to travel or move or go on some kind of trip. That won't be for everyone, but that might be coming into play here. I'm also seeing this could just be you deciding to really fully allow yourself to immerse in and experience your life, to not be feeding this person so much heavy energy emotionally when they're not meeting that with openness and with authenticity and communication. So I'm going to be reshuffling the cards here, but in the extended version of the reading on Patreon, we will be diving deeper into this dynamic. So we'll be taking a look at how this person is currently thinking and feeling towards you and towards themselves and their life generally, because the way they're feeling about themselves and their life really seems to be playing a role in how they're feeling about the connection and how they've been behaving towards you. So we'll also be taking a look at any future timeline potentials between you and this person. These will be the strongest energetic potentials based on the current energy. So the link to that extended reading is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Okay, we have the Thinking Woman card, but it's sitting on the intuition. So I'm hearing connecting intuition with earthly wisdom, spiritual wisdom with earthly wisdom, merging two worlds. What I'm really getting here is that you've always been someone who is incredibly intuitive and able to, whether you're doing this consciously or unconsciously, channel divine guidance and divine wisdom, higher wisdom. Now, For some of you, again, you might be doing this completely unconsciously. So this could be you having a conversation with a friend or even a stranger, and suddenly you are saying something or sharing something that you don't even realize or recognize in the moment that you're saying. This could be you kind of, without realizing it, unconsciously channeling some kind of higher spiritual message for that person or for that situation. But I'm hearing that the beautiful thing is you are becoming more conscious of your own spiritual gifts and abilities. So you are learning how to direct this highly spiritual energy in more conscious ways, whatever that means for you personally. But what I'm also picking up here is that you are combining, I'm hearing combining work ethic, combining knowledge of how to operate in the physical world, how to move forward a project in the physical world with this really high level spiritual wisdom that you've always had. And this combination is extremely powerful. In a sense, this is one kind of form of balancing your internal divine masculine and divine feminine energy. The divine masculine being more so connected to the physical 3D world and the knowledge of the world, and the divine feminine being more so connected to that flow state, that creativity. I'm getting specifically around flow state, that for some of you, you might be creating structure around the time where you allow yourself to immerse in flow state. Now, of course, flow state is a period of time in which you are just freely allowing yourself to express, to create, to do something that really lights you up, that you really love, and just find yourself so lost in that you might even completely lose track of time while you are doing it. It's a highly spiritual experience. But what I'm getting is you might be actually structuring that time. So building it into your day somehow, creating that, what we think of as more so the divine masculine structure around those more so divine feminine times of creativity and flow. And this is extremely powerful because I'm hearing you've had almost this pent up spiritual wisdom and energy that's been building and growing and expanding within you. And now you may be feeling this sudden push to channel that into physical directions or to be more structured about how you are sharing that highly spiritual energy with the world. This may be a way in which the new moon that we've just experienced in Taurus is affecting you because, of course, Taurus is an earth sign and it's very related to groundedness, stability, the material world. So this might be about you really grounding in and stabilizing this highly spiritual energy. I'm getting as well that for many of you, you went through some kind of major spiritual upgrade around the April 8th solar eclipse. And during this time, I did speak on this in one of my more recent videos on the new moon in Taurus, but during that solar eclipse period, the energy may have felt so intense, it was almost like pummeling you, and you may have not really been able to fully process and integrate it just because of how it was affecting you physically, mentally, and emotionally. With the solar plexus chakra reversed, it may have even felt as though it was shaking your confidence a little or shaking your sense of self just because the spiritual download was so magnificent, but also really intense to our physical human vessel. But now, in this period of time following the new moon in Taurus, you are being granted more of a space to stabilize yourself and really process and integrate all of that energy, all of those spiritual activations that you experienced around that April solar eclipse. So I'm going to go ahead and reshuffle the cards, and I'm actually going to pull from the Work Your Light Oracle. So for some reason I'm seeing stone pillars. Maybe someone is connecting with the energy of ancient Rome or ancient Greece. This could be you just connecting with your goddess energy. Wow, I can't believe this, but we pulled two of the same cards I actually pulled in a recent reading video, and these cards are transformation and protection. And right away, I heard the message, know that you are being divinely protected through this very intense transformation. So maybe you have felt some of that emotional instability, some fears surfacing, some uncertainties. Know that you are being protected through a powerful transformation that's taking place within you at this time. But also, the card protection does say call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. And that word retrieval, soul retrieval, that term is really triggering some kind of massive download around retrieving fragments of your soul from places, spaces, and people who have been siphoning some of your energy, maybe without your conscious knowledge. This has been a major theme, not just in this video, but in some of the recent readings I've done as well. But we've never spoken on it exactly as this literal kind of shamanic journey of sorts, this soul retrieval process. I am seeing a sphinx, so that might be significant. Maybe ancient Egypt is connecting with someone. But what I'm picking up here mainly is that if you've been feeling really drained or really, I'm hearing upset, but not really knowing the cause of that emotional upset, for some, this may even be strange, unexplainable physical symptoms that don't have a known medical cause, because of course, I am not a medical professional, so I always recommend seeing a doctor or medical professional about anything physical, but it's interesting because what I'm getting here is if you've been feeling some of these symptoms physically, mentally, emotionally, it could be that you have certain people, things, or places that are from your past on this linear timeline, but that are still in the present, siphoning some of your energy. Wow, I'm hearing sometimes people siphon energy just through the ability to access you through either observing you, connecting with you, being able to get information about you. So, for some of you, you may have been feeling guided recently to really move in silence, to maybe not be so open with posting and sharing about what you're doing, what moves you're making in your life, especially online. If you've had this awareness that there might be people connecting with you who are kind of sending you evil eye, which is essentially just seeing what you're doing and silently having this reaction to it because it's triggering them in some way, that then is sending you an energetic signal that might be negatively impacting you. Of course, this won't be for everyone. This is only for those of you who already have felt this intuitively. I'm hearing if this is for you, you've already been guided to protect your peace in certain ways. And this is going to look different from person to person. So always, of course, adhere to your own inner guidance on this. But again, this could have to do with no longer sharing information. I'm hearing prying eyes. You might have people who I'm hearing there might be a frustrating dynamic where you have individuals from your past or even from your life who aren't necessarily happy for your successes or for your thriving, but they want to know what you're up to. So they might like to access information about you, to see what you're doing online, or to ask other people what you're up to because they want to know about you, but they don't actually want to reciprocate with you. They want to siphon some of that energy. It's almost like they're getting a little bit of an energetic high through this ability to observe you or access you. But remember, not everyone who desires access to your energy deserves it. And I'm getting that affirmation that's really been coming up a lot recently, which is the price of connecting with me is going up. Of course, we're talking energetically, but for some of you, maybe you do literally have clients or a business, and maybe the price literally of connecting with you and your energy is increasing. But from an energy standpoint, the cost energetically of connecting with you is increasing, meaning in order for someone to connect with you and access you, they are going to have to raise their own energy, their own vibration consistently to a higher level. And you are being guided to really allow this process to happen, even if it feels a little uncomfortable to your human self. I'm hearing you will be guided to those actions in the moment. You will know, for example, when you're talking to someone and they ask you a question about your life and you suddenly feel very uneasy, that's a sign from your inner guidance that for whatever reason you are not meant to be sharing that information with that individual at that time. And you don't always have to know exactly why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, but this is an exercise in self-trust. It's about learning to trust yourself even more deeply. And to know that in the moment of speaking with someone, communicating with someone, interacting with someone, you will know how much is safe to share with them. And when I say safe, of course, I don't mean that you're in any kind of literal danger, but just that you know how far they can go with you energetically. You can tell by the way you feel as they ask you a question what level they're at energetically and whether they're going to be capable of receiving that information about you in a way that feeds you energetically in return, that fuels you. So you might be feeling guided to do literal, well, what some people call cord cutting rituals, but I've been referring to them recently as soul tie releasing rituals because I feel I like that terminology better. It resonates with me more, but they are really the same thing, just different ways of describing it. Retrieving those fragments of your soul, taking back, calling back all of your power into the now moments. And I'm hearing that there's a little bit of a tough love message for people around you who may have been siphoning your energy because they're not going to be allowed to do this any longer. And I feel that there might be some human feelings of guilt or uncertainty. Am I doing the right thing by not sharing this with the world at this time or sharing this piece of information with this person who's asking or setting boundaries with this person? But again, know that you can trust your inner guidance on this and that when something feels off as you're interacting with a certain person, it may be because whether they're doing it consciously or unconsciously, they are trying to get information about you to kind of get that energetic high, but in a way that isn't necessarily going to be beneficial to you in return. We are all about reciprocated energy exchange at this point in your soul's journey. In fact, you've elevated to a point where no other form of connection can really survive long term in your field. If someone wants to remain in your energy long term and therefore remain consistently physically connected to you long term, they're going to have to participate with you in a balanced way. So I'm going to be reshuffling the cards here, but clearly your spirit guides, your higher self, whatever divine forces you personally connect with, have been very talkative in this reading. So in the extended version of the reading, we will be channeling more messages from your spirit guides and higher self about your current life path, anything you might need to know at this time. So here we have adjacent possibilities reversed and the temple path card upright. I'm hearing closing the door allows you to fully align with your highest vibrational timeline in this moment. So maybe this is about some kind of connection, some kind of, maybe it was a past opportunity, some past version of yourself, a friendship, whatever this is for you. Maybe you've intuitively sensed that you are meant to be closing some kind of chapter or closing some kind of door, but there's been this uncertainty because you might not know what's on the other side, what's next for you, what happens if you allow yourself to completely close that door. But what I'm seeing is the moment you allow yourself to really face forward and no longer be looking back at whatever door you are now closing, you are able to focus so much more energy. I'm hearing in a more precise way with more precision, in a way that really powerfully raises your vibration and aligns you with a much higher timeline. And I keep getting the word connection, almost like there might be fear that if you close some kind of door here, and I feel the closing of this door involves really being authentic to yourself, to your path, or speaking your truth to someone, or speaking your truth, exuding your authenticity in some way, that might be what closes this door. The force that closes this door may be simply being your authentic self and speaking your truth. But know that any door that closes because you are being authentic is a door that is closing so that you can focus with more precision energetically and catapult yourself onto a higher timeline. So, wow, very powerful messages coming through this reading. I also will be channeling in the extended reading who or what else might be connected to your energy at this time. So, if you are interested in any of those additional messages, the link to the Patreon reading is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. But for now, I am going to be closing this first reading here on YouTube with one final Rumi Oracle card. And this card is, wow, well, there's actually two cards that wanted to come out here, and they are Beyond the Threshold of Fear and the card Arise. So, wow, I'm getting powerful downloads here around arising from the ashes and facing some kind of fear. Maybe facing a fear is the closing of that chapter of your life, or a closing of that door, really fully embodying the energy of your authentic self and your truth, whatever that is for you personally. And in doing so, I'm seeing it's almost like this puts you in this elevator that automatically raises you to a whole new level of reality that we're calling this higher vibrational timeline here. But I do want to read a message from the Rumi Oracle guidebook here as well. So the guidebook says, enter the lion's jungle. Don't think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are phantoms of the mind. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. It is your fear holding you back, like a bar behind the door. Rumi. And the guidebook says as well, this oracle comes with spiritual guidance for you. You have broken through a barrier, a self-imposed barrier of fear that held you back from the steps you are now taking or just about to take. These steps may feel strange, new, uncertain, and exciting. Your mind might not have received the memo that fear-based existence is no longer in operation for you. It may need a loving, tender, reassuring, and firm update that the relationship you have with fear is now rather different. You are the witness, not the victim. You are conscious enough to hold it in compassion. Don't collapse under its weight. In fact, it is becoming less and less substantial for you. That power has been claimed by your heart instead. So that feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. Of course, if you do resonate with my energy, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more energy updates, inspiration, and information. And of course, if you are feeling guided now to continue on with me to the extended reading on Patreon, I will be leaving a link to it in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love today. Have a beautiful, magical remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in Friday's reading.